All right, let's talk Shakespeare. If you're getting your head around Much Ado About Nothing for your exams, then you are in exactly the right place. We are going to crack this classic comedy wide open, breaking down the big themes that will help you make sense of it all.
So, what's on the menu today? First, we'll decode that tricky title. Then we'll dive into a tale of two very different love stories. After that, we're looking at deception, how it's used for good and for evil. Then we'll tackle the heavy stuff, honor. And finally, we'll pull it all together so you know exactly how to crack Shakespeare's code for yourself.
Okay, first things first. The biggest clue to understanding this entire play, it's been staring you in the face the whole time. It is right there in the title.
So you see the title, Much Ado About Nothing, and you think, okay, so it's about a bunch of fuss over nothing, right? A simple little comedy? Well, not so fast. Shakespeare is way, way sneakier than that.
And here is the absolute genius of it. Back in Shakespeare's day, the word nothing sounded almost identical to the word noting. And what did noting mean? Well, it meant watching, observing, eavesdropping, and, crucially, getting things wrong, misinterpreting. All of a sudden, that title makes so much more sense, doesn't it? The whole story, the entire plot, gets set in motion because characters are constantly noting things.
And this whole business of noting and getting things twisted, it's right at the heart of the play's romances. We're basically given a masterclass in love by looking at two couples who could not be more different.
Okay, so in one corner, you've got Claudio and Hero. This is your textbook love at first sight. It's all about looks, it's super idealized, and honestly, it's about as stable as a house of cards. Then in the other corner, you have the main event, Beatrice and Benedick. Their thing is a merry war. It's all about snappy comebacks and witty insults. It's grounded in reality, in their minds, and because of that, it's way, way stronger.
Just listen to Claudio the first time he lays eyes on Hero. He doesn't say, wow, she seems kinder. I wonder what she's like. Nope. He says, can the world buy such a jewel? A jewel! He immediately sees her as a prize, an object to be owned. That one line tells you everything you need to know about how shallow their connection really is.
Now flip that completely on its head and look at Beatrice and Benedick. Their relationship is described as a merry war. They're not just staring at each other from across the room, they are actively engaged in this constant battle of wits. And that is what makes their bond so incredibly strong.
So, with all this spying and mishearing going on, it's no surprise that the play is absolutely dripping with deception. But here's the cool part. Shakespeare doesn't just show deception as a bad thing. He treats it like a powerful force that can be used as a weapon to destroy or as a tool to build something new.
Let's start with deception as a weapon. Our villain, the wonderfully grumpy Don John, is just simmering with resentment. So what does he do? He engineers this nasty, elaborate lie to make it look like Hero is cheating on Claudio. And it works like a charm. Claudio falls for it, hook, line, and sinker, and it leads to that gut-wrenching scene where he shames her in front of everyone. It is pure, calculated destruction. But then, and this is so clever, their friends use the exact same tactic for something totally good. They also stage conversations that are meant to be overheard. But this time, the goal isn't to destroy a relationship, it's to create one. They're trying to trick Beatrice and Benedick, these two people who are way too proud to admit it, into realizing they're perfect for each other. Deception as matchmaking. How great is that?
And of course, we have to talk about the biggest deception of them all. The grand finale of trickery. Hero faking her own death. Talk about dramatic. This whole wild plan is cooked up to basically hit the reset button, to shock everyone so badly that the truth can finally come out and our honor can be restored.
Yeah, that word, honor. It is everything in this play. Getting it back becomes the main quest, really. And to get why it's such a big deal, you have to understand just how crushing the pressure of reputation was back then, especially if you were a woman.
Okay, so for a woman in this world, her honor was basically her entire value as a person. And it was all tied up in one thing, her chastity. It was like her social currency, but it was incredibly fragile. And the worst part? It was completely controlled by men, by what they said, what they thought, what they whispered. If your reputation was even questioned, that was it. Game over. There was almost no coming back from that.
And if you want to know how intense this pressure was, just look at Leonardo, Hero's own dad. When she's accused in public,
What's his first reaction? He says he wishes she were dead. Let that sink in. He would rather his daughter be dead than have his family deal with the shame. It's a truly shocking moment, and it tells you everything about the stakes.
And this is the moment Beatrice just snaps. She sees her cousin destroyed, she's boiling with rage, and she feels completely helpless. And she unleashes this incredible line. "Oh God, that I were a man. I would eat his heart in the marketplace." Wow, that line is just pure fire. It's all her frustration at a world that won't let her defend her family's honor just because she's a woman.
Okay, so we've got these massive themes swirling around, right? Noting, love, deception, honor. But the real question for your exams is, how does Shakespeare actually pull it off? How does he weave all this together? Nailing that is your ticket to a fantastic grade.
Think about it like this. Shakespeare has a toolkit, and he's using specific literary tools to build these themes. Take dramatic irony. We, the audience, know Hero is innocent, which makes it absolutely agonizing to watch Claudio tear her down. Or metaphor. Calling love a merry war isn't just a cute phrase. It tells us so much about their relationship. And then you've got foil characters. He puts the bold, independent Beatrice right next to the quiet, dutiful hero. Why? To show us two totally different ways of being a woman in this society.
And this right here is the absolute key takeaway. For top marks, it is not enough to just say deception is a theme. You have to show how Shakespeare explores deception. You do that by picking out these literary devices, grabbing a killer quote, and explaining exactly how it all connects. That link between the device and the theme, that's where the magic happens in an essay.
So, let's circle all the way back to where we started, that title. Is this play really about nothing, or is it actually about something we do all day, every day? Is it Much Ado About Noting? A story about how we're constantly watching, judging, and let's be honest, misreading everything and everyone around us? That's something to think about.